Right, let's get some political reaction. We have the ANC's national spokesperson, Pule Mabe. Mr. Mabe, your response to what the president said tonight.
Well, evening, Francis, and evening to your viewers. Of course, we welcome the president's announcement of the lockdown being adjusted to level 2, which will now allow for more people to be able to gather. Of course, in places where they gather, they should make sure that there is enough ventilation, especially now as we are just under 50 days towards local government elections, which are meant to be held on the 1st of November. We've got to make sure that political parties that will be participating in these elections, that will be going out there to present their different manifestos, do so under conditions where they are able to observe COVID-19 protocols. They ensure that they still maintain the necessary social distancing. Even if we contest for political power, we have got to prioritize the protection of lives and safeguarding livelihoods. We must also commend South Africans. The president announced today that over 7 million South Africans have been fully vaccinated. This is indeed welcomed. It does show that there is a greater response from amongst the people of this country towards government vaccination program. Of course, we are again calling on the youth and many others to go and vaccinate. We need to speak and make sure that we encourage our people to vaccinate, speak against vaccine hesitancy. Our people should know that the only way through which we will be able to protect lives is when they vaccinate. But of course, Francis, we need to also join hands together to also fight the other pandemic, which is gender-based violence. We need to create a society where women and children feel that they are safe, especially the girl child. We need them to feel that this country can protect their own future. When we go to the polls to vote, we've got to make sure that part of the programs that we encourage parties to roll out, which the party that we are part of, the African National Congress, will be rolling out across municipalities, is going to make sure that there's greater articulation and greater advancement of programs that are geared to deal with gender-based violence, and call on the rest of society to report those that are involved in such instances so that they are named and shamed. We must create a safer communities for women and children.
All right, thank you for your time tonight reacting to the President's address. ANC's spokesperson Pule Mabe. On the line, we're also joined by DA leader John Steenhuisen. Your response to the President's address?
Well, I think we certainly welcome the easing of the restrictions. It's going to make campaigning for the local government elections better. But I do think that we do start to need to move towards finding the criteria under which lockdowns and state of disaster are going to end. I submitted a question 4 weeks ago to the President around when the lockdowns, what are the criteria would have to be met for lockdowns to end and for the state of disaster to end. We haven't responded. And I think that we need to understand what is required of the citizens to get out of the state of disaster. We've been in a state of disaster for almost 2 years now, and I think it's time for us to start understanding how we're going to be able to move back to life as normal again as citizens. So we understand what our side of the bargain is going to be.
All right, thank you very much. And we're bringing you political reaction to what the President was saying tonight. On the line, UDM leader Bantu Holomisa. Your response to the President's address?
The United Democratic Movement welcomes the adjustments. How I wish we could have gone straight to level 1 in order to boost and address the issue of our economy. Second, who's making certain noise in this thing? Talk to yourself, please. But I did recommend to the President and his committee during our meeting, I said to them, can't we make use of our military, at least between now and December, to assist the Department of Health by dispatching those who are tasked to do vaccination to all corners of our South Africa, and especially in rural areas. If, for instance, you drive from Mthatha to Kofi, it's embarrassing. You think that you are in somewhere in Afghanistan. There's no road there. It becomes worse when you branch to the villages. And a lot of people have to travel 20 kilometers. And when they arrive in these centers, the queue is long and this stuff is not there. So I hope that the military can be asked to assist the health practitioners or transport the needy people to the vaccination centers, those who want to vaccinate. I think by January, at least you would say 80% of South Africans have been vaccinated. So we need to be flexible and not just listen only to the gimmicks of this, what is said on TV and radio. One practical plan.
All right, thank you very much. And I do apologize if there was any interference from our side, Bantu Holomisa. All right, from the FF Plus, let's get a reaction from Peter Groenewald. Mr. Groenewald, what's your party's response to what the president said?
Apologies, it's Wouter Wessels. I'm the national spokesperson of the FF Plus.
All right, my apology there. Go ahead.
No problem. We do welcome the fact that we are moving to lesser restrictions. We don't understand the curfew because currently the police is failing to actually implement the curfew, and that's the problem. We welcome the fact that religious gatherings can have a larger number. But we do think that the fact that the vaccination program is now rolling out and there's a lot of positives, it should be acknowledged that government initially failed and that there was a slow response. And then the president should have also tonight addressed the fact that there is an unemployment crisis in South Africa, and that is the actual risk to all of us in South Africa and to the fiscus at this stage.
All right, thank you for that response from the FF Plus. If you've just tuned in, of course, we're bringing you political reaction to what the president had to say tonight, addressing the nation, and as widely speculated, moving South Africa down a lockdown level to lockdown level 2.